Good morning, everyone. Leah Dixon here from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. I am live on Wednesday mornings, and typically I show you guys a card. Sometimes I'll create a little treat box or something. Today I am going to be creating a card using the Brightest Glow bundle. So I'm going to switch over to my desktop so that you guys can see what that bundle looks like, and we'll get started. And hopefully, as you pop on, if you want to say hi and let me know who's watching. Awesome. So we're going to switch over to the desktop. And so this is the Brightest Glow bundle. It is a stamp set, and I'll just bring this up and show you. It's a stamp set with some really beautiful fonts and some very, very nice sentiments, some really, just really beautiful, beautiful sentiments. The one I'm going to be using today on the inside says, "Hoping your Christmas shines bright with the love of family and friends." So really, really beautiful. And then the dies. The dies are actually what caught my eye first in this stamp set, because it's just all these little dots. And I don't know, they're just really beautiful and fun. And like even the circle, it's not just a typical circle die. It has all these fun little dots around the outside edge. Oh, excuse me. I just got a tickle in my nose. Wow. All right, so that's what we're using to create today is this beautiful sentiment set and these gorgeous dies. And I'm going to show you how much fun these dies can be to create backgrounds and all sorts of stuff. All right, so, oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I am in my basement. It's a little bit dusty down here because our furnace has started to actually turn on. And all right, so I have a cherry cobbler card base today. This is 11 by 4¼ scored at 5.5. And that's going to create our base for our card. And before we do any stamping or anything, I actually wanted to do some die cutting on this base. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab some of these snowflakes. There we go. And I love these because you have so many of them. We're actually going to grab a bunch of these snowflakes and pop them all around on this one edge. Oh, hi, Ginger. I know, aren't these dies incredible? All right. Oh my goodness, these guys are a little bit stuck. So normally I switch my dies over to magnetic sheets, but I never switch over my mini catalog ones until I know that they're going to carry over into an annual catalog. It just gets too expensive to be doing it for all the dies. So these ones are still on the cardboard base, and it gets a little bit tricky. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to die cut these larger snowflakes first, and then I'm going to put the small ones in around, because I'm just doing like a 1-inch strip here of space. So I unfortunately need my large machine. So we'll grab that. This one doesn't fit in my mini only because I'm using a full card base, and so the card base doesn't fit. The dies themselves do, though. All right, so we're going to put down our base, plate 2, plate 3, and then I'm going to put down this base, and I'm going to start with one snowflake right there. And you know what? I know that I'm not going to... Uh-oh. I knew I was going to do that. Okay, luckily it didn't drop down. Whew. Okay, I am going to do a few of these small ones. I just won't do all of them yet. All right, so take 2. So this is actually the front of our card. So out along that edge, I am going to pop in here and do a few snowflakes like that. That guy right there. And another one right there. And that's actually all I'm going to do for now, because I think I want to put the large one in again fairly close. All right, so we're going to run those through, and we're just going to go once and then back. And I'm actually going to do this a few times just because I want to make sure it really, truly cuts through, because it's not actually cutting out the snowflake. It is just cutting out the holes of the snowflake. So it's creating like this cool dotted snowflake right there on our card front. All right, so now I'm just going to make sure we got all those out. Now, before I die cut again, because I don't want those leaving little dots on the back side, what I actually do is I use my other plate and I scrape them off. And I just made a giant mess all over my desk, but that's okay because my job this afternoon is to actually clean my office. So just one more thing to clean. All right, so now with that done, I'm going to come back in and I'm going to do more snowflakes. So I'm going to change up the angle a bit, but I want that one in there again. And oops, make sure you're putting them so that the dots are down. All right. Now, not all of these are going to show because I am, you know what? I think I actually want another one down there. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to pop another one in right there though. And no, I'm not going to go right up to the corner. I don't want any of them actually going off the page. Although often I would like stamp off the page, I'm not going to die cut off the page. And actually, I think even that, oh no, I'll do one there. Okay. And I think that's it for now. Okay. And so again, I'm going to roll this through a few times because I don't want it to only kind of cut out those holes. I really want to make sure that they just fall out like they did the last time. There we go. All right. Whoa. There, a little static cling. So I'm going to pull all these dies off again, and then we'll run them through one more time. But remember, I'm going to clean the dots off of my board first, because otherwise they will kind of like reverse emboss. And again, I just use my top plate to scratch them off. It's the fastest way. And if you've got like a recycle bin, just do it over top of your recycle bin, and then you're good to go and you don't have a giant mess on your desk like I'm going to have. All right, and let's see, we're going to pop in a snowflake right there. And I think that's actually all we're going to do, just those last two. Okay. So here we go. So it is actually cutting. It's cutting holes right in my cardstock. So I will show you guys a close-up now because that was my last cut. So dots everywhere. There we go. And those dies just came off beautifully. So I'm going to set these off to the side so I don't lose them. Let's see right there. Fantastic. Okay. So what this is it's just cut holes in there. Here, I'll put a piece of cardstock behind it so you can see it's just cut holes into the front of my cardstock, all shaped like little snowflakes. So that's going to be the front edge of our card, is those beautiful little snowflakes cut in there. All right, let's move these cut-in plates out of the way and keep on creating. All right, so now I am going to create the inside of my card because I just want it done and over with. So I have a piece of very vanilla cardstock at 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm also going to grab, I think, let's see. I don't know. You know what? Maybe we'll wait and do the inside because I want to decide if I want. So the question is, we're going to be using this beautiful designer series paper on our card front. I'm going to have to trim that down a bit. I'm going to be using this gorgeous designer series paper. And so I need to decide if I'm going to use the vanilla glitter accent or a gold glittered accent. So take a look at those. They're both glittery. And so we have to decide which one we're going to use on this card. So I have a piece of not cardstock, designer series paper here. This is the Lights Aglow specialty paper. So it's got blacks and evening evergreen, cherry cobbler, and soft succulent in it, all with vanilla and gold accents. It is gorgeous, gorgeous designer series paper. So I've got that going on. But I am going to trim this down a bit. Let's see. I think I might trim it all the way down to 3.5. I think that's going to be the size I want. So it was originally just a 4x4 square. It was just a piece that I had left over from another project. But I think I don't want it to be square on my card front. There we go. I like that. 3.5 works beautifully. So we're going to take this designers, I keep calling it cardstock. We're going to take this designer series paper and we're going to glue it down. I'm just going to double check though. Okay, there's just one spot where glue might go through the holes. Good. So I don't have to worry too much. All right, so I like to use my liquid glue to do my gluing. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to just skip that one little spot where I think we're going to hit the snowflake and end up with glue in the holes. And we'll go that way. And so I've just left a little spot with no glue. So hopefully we don't glue this to the inside of our card. All right. And I'm just going to double check. Success, no glue. Okay. So we've got a designer series paper layer right on the front there. And now we're going to stamp our sentiment. And the one I've chosen for the front is actually this absolutely stunning Merry Christmas. And I'm going to stamp this with my cherry cobbler ink. Actually, am I? Yeah, we'll see. I'll do it with cherry cobbler, and then if I don't like it, we'll redo it in another color. But yeah, I think we'll do cherry cobbler. So I want to make sure that I'm actually getting this fully inked. My cherry cobbler gets a lot of use, and so sometimes I end up with little dry spots. So just want to double check that that's fully, and so you can kind of see where you've got the ink nicely applied and where you need more. All right, now I'm going to stamp this kind of top to bottom, a little bit of space on each side. Oh, and it wasn't fully inked. Okay, well that's why we have two sides. Okay, we'll try again. That's awful. I thought it was fully inked. Let's give that a try. Well, it's still not inking up nicely. I may actually need, well, here you go, guys. You get to see how to re-ink an ink pad. So first thing is I'm just going to dig here through my ink drawer. There we go. Found my cherry cobbler Stampin' ink. And I'm almost out. I use this color a lot. I've used this refill a ton. And so I just kind of go in a diagonal across my ink pad. And now that's not soaking in too quickly, so I'm not going to do any more. I am going to use the tip though, just to move this around a bit. So I'm not squeezing now. No ink is actually coming out of the bottle. I'm just moving around my ink, and I'm kind of pushing it towards the center because I noticed that's where it did absorb very quickly. And the edges seem to be fine. It's the center that's not. Okay, and then I'm going to give a little bit more to the center because it seems to be absorbing it quite quickly. And you can see it's just soaking that up so fast. This bundle is in the mini catalog, Ginger. And right now, if you use my host code to purchase it from me, I'm actually offering a free class to go with it. The class will be held in October. I can't remember the exact date right now. It's either the 23rd or the 28th. And is also all recorded. So if you can't make it on the exact date, you can watch the recordings. All right, that should be good now, guys. And yeah, this one is in the mini catalog. And it's kind of an easy one to overlook because they kind of focus more on the Christmas trees and stuff Let's see if I can find my catalog. There we go. I found my catalog now. Let's grab the page. So it kind of got lost in this catalog. Well, there was so much in this catalog. So many beautiful things. So here we go. This is why you might not have noticed it on the Lights Aglow page, page 30 and 31. It's just tiny, tucked up there above the Festive Pearls. And they've kind of paired it up with the Christmas light stamp set that's all images and no words. I love word stamps, though, because you can pair them up with anything, not just the bundle that they've decided to pair it up with. So yeah, here we go. On page 33, you can kind of see it a little bit more close up. And it's just beautiful. Just stunning. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully this ink pad is ready to go now. Hopefully I didn't make it too inky now. Let's test over here on the side. Oh, maybe a little too inky. Let's just maybe use my stamp to move some of that around. Okay. All right. And one more tester. Okay, so my right side seems good, but it's my left side. So we'll just come in last time. Okay. All right, I think we've got this now. Okay, perfect. So there we have our gorgeous Merry Christmas. Oh, good morning, Janice. Yeah, it's funny how sometimes stamp sets just jump out at us and sometimes they hide in the catalog in plain sight. All right, so I'm going to die cut this now using I think it's my new favorite label die, the label die from our Lights Aglow bundle, or not Lights Aglow bundle, Brightest Glow bundle. Now for this one, I can use my mini just because it's just a smaller piece of paper I'm using. If you don't have the mini, of course, you can use your large machine to do this. I just find my mini is so much easier, though. It fits on my desktop. It's light. There we go. And then I'm just going to roll that back just because I want to make sure those ends cut out because they've got all those intricate little pieces in them. All right. So I am into Christmas mode because I foolishly, I don't know, signed up for 3 craft fairs this November. And so I need to seriously do some creating. So I have stuff to sell at these craft fairs. So I am in full on Christmas mania, trying to get ready because I also have limited stamping time because we're back to work. 3rd week of school now. And so that keeps me busy during my days. All right. So I have my Merry Christmas all ready to go, and it's going to go here on my card front. But before I put it down, I want like a little glittery background. So this is 100 Christmas cards this week, Janice. Oh my goodness. Okay, I need to come and stamp with you so you can kick my button gear. I think I've made 4. Oh no, I just smudged my Merry Christmas. Oh, darn it. Okay, we may be redoing that. Well, no, I shouldn't say we may. We are going to redo that. But before we do, I want you guys to take a look. There's the white glimmer. Oh, I think that's going to be the winner. Or there is the gold glimmer. Definitely the white. Sorry, I'm not even going to wait for you guys to tell me. Executive decision made. We are using white glimmer. That is gorgeous. But unfortunately, I just went and wrecked that whole thing. So I'm going to go grab another scrap of Very Vanilla and start again. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do this time, because my cherry cobbler's been acting funny, so I think we're going to seal it in with some clear embossing powder, because I don't need smudgy stuff. So actually, before I grab my ink, I'm going to get just a scrap piece of paper ready to go. And I'm going to grab my embossing buddy and just go over this. There we go. So this is a little trick, guys. My cherry cobbler's been giving me troubles, and I know a lot of brands, like not just Stampin' Up brands, reds can be a little bit finicky. So I'm going to grab some clear embossing powder, and so I'm going to re-stamp this in red cherry cobbler, not just any red, the red of choice. Oh my, that was a little gushy. Oh yeah, way too gushy. Okay, let's clean that up. Today is not my stamp day. All right, I'm going to grab my chamois and really clean that one. I'm going to press a lot lighter. Okay. So here we are. Really gently pressing onto my stamp, onto my ink pad. Yeah, Janice, this afternoon I will contact you. We're just trying to sort out my mother-in-law's birthday plans, and then I'll contact you about a time for us to get together and stamp, because I need it. I need the motivation and the company. All right. Gold wasn't good. No, the gold was not good. Okay, here we go. So we're stamping this with our cherry cobbler. And then before anything can go on here, I'm just throwing some clear embossing powder, like overdo it, throw it over top. All right. There we go. So this is a great trick for anytime you have those inks that tend to smear on you. Put clear embossing powder over top of them. Now I can clean up my embossing powder before I heat that. And it's going to lock that ink in so it can't smudge on you. Because, I don't know, I have some bad luck with just certain colors, I find. Reds, always reds. If I'm going to stick my thumb in an ink pad, it's going to be the red one. If an ink's going to smear, it's going to be the red one. And actually, I'm even getting a bit nervous about this stamping that I did here on the side. So I'm just going to fold that over so I don't accidentally put my card into it later. All right, and I'm going to close up this ink pad because I don't trust myself. There we go. All right, now let's grab the heat tool, and we are going to heat up. Oh, my heat tool seems to be caught on something. There we go. We're going to heat this up, and it's just going to go clear, and we'll see our red again. All right, so there we have it. Now we have some smudge-proof red ink, and I like it because it gets it a little bit shiny too. All right, so smudge-proof, and we will re-die cut. So again, I'm grabbing my mini and my 3 and 2, and off we go. Now, if you don't know, I actually don't use the combo that they call for die cutting. I do use my plate number 3 and 2 plate 2s. So that's that light gray plate instead of the white plate that they recommend. And I find I have way better results with my die cutting. All right, pop that away. So yeah, that light gray plate is a lifesaver. Okay, beautiful. Now we can move on with creating. So I've got this going on. I got that. It's smudge proof now. I got this little piece, and we're going to just kind of hold this behind and grab paper snips. And I'm just going to trim the edges. Just kind of eyeballing it, like nothing fancy happening there. Now this piece I'm going to attach to my card front, but I'm not going to attach it the whole way. So you can use Seal Plus, whatever you want, and actually flip it over. And I'm only going to put my adhesive up to the edge of the Designer Series paper because I don't want adhesive going through those little holes and making my card stick shut, because it could go through those little holes on the back. So I've just put adhesive on that section. Now, when I attach my sentiment here, I can use a dimensional on here, but I'm going to stick it onto my paper that's already in the way. Now it looks like I'm going to be using up bits. So you can always use the edging from your dimensionals. That's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm not going to be using that many, don't worry. So when I think about where this is going to go, I can have a dimensional there. And then the whole rest of this, I can just use dimensionals and not care about where they're going because they won't stick through any little holes or anything. All right. So peel those off, peel that one off, and pop that onto our card front. All right, now I really want these snowflakes to show up a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that very vanilla piece in there, but I'm also going to put a little bit of our Glimmer paper on there. And so I'm going to trim that down to 4 inches in length. And I don't know, this was just a scrap, so it's actually just over 1 inch wide. It was just a scrap that I had in my packet. So just cut that at 1 inch. And I'm going to glue this right onto the edge of my paper. Now, before I do that, before I actually glue it, I did want to stamp a sentiment on here, so I'm just going to lay it down approximately where I'd like it. And I'm going to stamp my inside sentiment. Now, this one I'm going to stamp in black because I don't want to go through the trouble of heat embossing it and everything. So I'll just double check it. There we go. All right. So I think I want that centered, not on the whole piece, but between, like on the part that's going to show. Because we've got that glimmer strip. So I've just centered it on the remaining very vanilla. All right. So it says, hoping your Christmas shines bright with the love of family and friends. Now, actually, before I put that away, I'm going to grab a tiny sticky note. This is something that actually Janice taught me. Janice, who's watching right now, is I grab a little sticky note and I stamp my inside sentiment on this sticky note as well. And then when I package these up to sell them, that's showing so that they know what's inside and they don't have to unwrap the card to see what's inside, or there's no surprise and they get home and they're like, oh, you know, I didn't know it had a sentiment inside, or oh, I don't like that sentiment inside. So I always put those onto a little sticky note and then attach that. So I'll save that for later. All right, so I don't have to redo this stamping. It worked out well. So I'm going to now grab my liquid glue and, oh, come on. And I'm going to glue this piece of Glimmer paper to the edge of my very vanilla. There we go. And then I like to just flip it over to burnish it. And then this whole piece, something stuck there. Okay, there we go. And this whole piece I'm going to glue down to the inside of my cherry cobbler card base. All right, I'm almost out of glue. The nice thing about using the flat end is even if you just have a small dot, you can really spread it around and make it last. All right, so we're going to glue that inside of our card. And again, I'm just going to flip it over to burnish it. Okay, and now when our card is closed, we can really see those snowflakes showing through on the one side. And then our card opens. Now, the final thing to add to this is some festive pearls. Now, they say I want to add them, but oh, here they are. They're already on my desktop. I was going to say, finding them will be the trick. So I'm actually, I'm tempted to use the gold ones actually, but I think my poor red ones are so neglected that I'm going to use the red ones on here because I really haven't, I don't think I've used any of them actually. So we're going to put some red pearls on here, and actually that one can even come down. We'll put it up there. All right, so a few little red pearls on the front of that card. And that is our finished card. So I hope you can see how amazing these Brightest Glow dies are. And then in this exact same card layout, I want to show you a different color scheme. I created a New Year's card as well, and instead of doing snowflakes, I used the long snowflake trim. So it's created this whole edging of dots that start kind of really solid and kind of phase out. And so then on this one, I did use the gold so that I could create a New Year's Eve card. So 2 cards, same layout, just different color scheme. And yeah, they're just fantastic dies. So I hope you guys enjoyed that today. And if you did and you already have that stamp set, I hope you'll join my Brightest Glow card class. And if you don't have it, just by purchasing it using my host code will get you free access to the card class. So thanks everyone for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Should be another beautiful sunny one. And I will see you here next Wednesday for another Facebook Live. I think next week I'm featuring the Yetis. So awesome. Thanks. Bye, everyone.